O Great Spirit, Namaste. Saints and sages of all times, of all places, Namaste. O ye pathmakers of old, rulers of the air, the earth, the fire, the water, the ether, Namaste. Ancestors of our bloodlines, ancestors of all the lineages to whom we attune, Namaste. Most beloved and precious Ishtadevata, in all of thy names and all of thy forms, and in thy formless reality, Namaste. Sweep clear the path. Be with us, bless us, lift us. May our minds be settled, may our hearts be clear. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Welcome to my heart. Welcome to our Sunday Sangha. As always, we will have a teaching, a meditation, and then we will have our prayer, our meditative prayer, where we join together to send our blessings to all sentient beings. In case you hadn't noticed, there have been a lot of storms lately. Here, they've been coming almost every day. All of the things that we thought were reliable in the part of the world that I live in, electricity, pure running water, air conditioning, or heat when you need it, have been disrupted. Not once, but twice, multiple times. Many of you are living in parts of the world where there have been fires all summer, repeatedly. There have been volcanoes coming. There have been erupting, I should say. There have been hurricanes coming. It has not been a quiet time upon the earth. And so we need to find a quiet within. We need to find a way to sustain the quiet within us. Once upon a yogi time, in the ever-present now. So take a breath. There was a small monastery, and it was beside a beautiful, beautiful blue lake. You know what it looks like. High, high in the mountains. The water as clear blue as it could possibly be. You could see down to the bottom of the lake and all the beautiful stones and all the beautiful beings that lived within the lake. The sun shone brightly on that lake and upon that monastery. It was a sacred place, beautiful, beautiful place. It was so perfect that people walking along the paths through the mountains would stop and they would hear the silence and they would become one with it, and they would become filled with joy because of it. Maybe you've lived and seen a lake like that, where you look down and it looks as if a mirror is right there, and you can see your face. It's your whole being in a lake. This is what it was like. A very old yogi lived there with several students, just a couple. It wasn't a very big place. Those places are the best when there's only a few. Had a student named Arun. Now Arun loved meditation. He loved meditation when everything was peaceful. And when he first came to study with his guru, it was the height of the summer, everything was peaceful. He loved meditation when the birds were singing. He loved meditation when the other students were kind to him. When everybody said, "Oh, Arun, I'm so happy to see you. Good morning, good morning." He especially loved meditation when he felt peaceful. But guess what? This monastery, this mountain, was upon the earth plane. And when things went wrong, Arun thought that meditation had failed him. He didn't think this is the nature of life. He thought meditation. It's not good. It's not working. And he criticized it. One summer, very much like this summer, a great storm came down from the mountains, as we have seen all summer. Oh, it was strong. The clouds were so dark. The wind swept across the lake, and instead of the lake being clear, the lake was filled with murkiness and mud coming up, the silt coming up from the bottom. It was dark. It was turbulent. The tree branches fell. Trees fell. There were trees there that fell. It was kind of a little sad. Arun became very frightened. He thought it was the end of the world, if you will. And we do become frightened sometimes with the thunder and the lightning and the recognition that we are not superior to nature, that nature will live the way it chooses to, that it will express itself the way that it chooses to, without regard to whether we want it or not. Come. Oh, Guruji, come please. Something has happened to the lake. It's a mess. It's a catastrophe there. Guru gets up and, he can see the sky. He's heard the wind. He's seen the thunder, the lightning. He's been here a long time. He knows what he's going to find, but the disciple's crying, so he goes down. Look, our lake is gone. Arun says, the lake is gone. Our beautiful, pure lake is gone. Really? He looks at the churning water. Are you sure it's gone, Arun? It's going to be like this forever. It is gone. I'm telling you. Why can't you see? Yes, the peaceful lake. It's disappeared. Guru sits down underneath a rock. Aren't you going to do something? Aren't you going to do something? What would you like me to do, Arun? Stop the storm. Stop the storm. Stop this. Stop this. I'm a yogi, Arun. I'm not the weather. Arun did not find his guru to be particularly helpful at that moment. It was one of the moments where he wanted to say, what am I doing here? But He was up in the mountains, and to leave was a big to-do, and it was storming. So he did what any good disciple would do, any wise soul would do, and he sat down next to the guru, underneath the shelter of the rock, and watched the storm. Just watch the storm. Watch the storm. After a while, the guru says, Arun, there's something I've never shown you before beneath the lake. A secret. A secret. Arun is excited. A secret. He's going to get in on a secret. What? There's a house down there. There's a house down at the bottom of the lake. A very old house. Long before this small monastery was built, people lived here in the valley. And when the lake was formed by the glaciers melting, the house disappeared. Now Arun looked into the dark waves. I can't see it. I can't see it. No. Is it still there? Is it still there? Are you sure? Is it still there? Yes, it's still there. Still there. But the water is so disturbed. The surface is disturbed, my beloved disciple. Just the surface. Arun was puzzled and became quiet. And the guru said, the storm has changed what you can see. It has not changed what is beneath. They sat for a while, and in time, my beloved, the rain stopped, the lightning stopped, the thunder stopped. The lake became peaceful again. The clouds parted, the sun was out, and sunlight once again touched the water. The mountains once again reflected upon the water. Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And the guru stood, little old yogi stood, and he said, come back to the monastery. And he takes him to the monastery and takes him into his room. And in his room, he pulls out maps that he had in his chest. And he removed a faded drawing of the valley, the way it looked before the water came. And exactly where the lake stood was a tiny house. And Arun studied it. He studied it. Wow, that was really there. That was really there. And his guru said to him, Arun, it still is. It still is. It touched his heart. It still is there. There's a house for each of us beneath the lake. What is the lake? Well, for all the good Once Upon a Yogi Time stories, water is emotionality. It is the mind fluctuating like this and like this and like this, up and down and up and down and up and down. And in your meditation, in my meditation, the lake becomes clear. There's no more fluctuation of the mind. It's clear, it's beautiful, it's peace-filled. But then a thought arises, and immediately muck arises from below. How many of you have said to yourselves, and some of you have said to me, I can't meditate. Thoughts arise. Yes, that's the nature of the mind. You and me and Pranananda and Shelley and every meditator. Thoughts arise. They fall. The storm arises, it falls. But if we allow it to churn, if we focus our attention on the churning, my beloved, then we lose. We lose the home in our heart. We lose the wisdom at our sun center. It's gone. And the problem becomes this. We think that the current state of the mind is forever. We behave as if it is forever. We behave as if the peace that we had is permanently gone. Or in the moment of peace, we think it's forever and we forget the nature of the mind. And what disturbs us? What disturbs us? You know, anger. What is anger? Anger is simply an event, a circumstance, a thought arising, which is not what you would like at that moment. That's all it is. Regardless of what kind of, it's angular energy in which your mind is saying, this is not what I want at this moment, not what I want. The great I, the great ego. You know, it sometimes looks like it's solid. It sometimes looks like it's never going to go away. People feed it. They feed it with their words. They feed it with their thoughts. They feed it with their actions. And it begins to congeal. It begins to be hardened, to become hardened. Fear. What is fear? Fear arises and disturbs the surface. Fear is of the unknown. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm uncertain how I'm going to be able to walk through this time. Or they're going to take from me that which I value the most. They're going to harm me. They're going to hurt me. It's always they, the other, or I. I will disappoint myself, right? It's just an emotion. It's just a fluctuation, just a ripple across the surface of the lake, of the peace of your mind. Grief. Grief is hard. Because grief occurs when something we have had, that we have valued, is no longer present upon the earth in the same form. I was with someone recently who was telling me that their house had exploded. And this happened several years ago, but they were still in the process of rebuilding it. It had taken them, I don't know how many years, but it was still in the process of rebuilding. And she still had a lot of grief about that, and anger that it had taken so long, and there had been so much disappointment about it. But, you know, what else causes these emotions to fluctuate? You know, I think that one of the things that's tough is that sometimes people can say things that wound you. They can say things that hurt you. They can do things that hurt you. And, you know, whether they are rude, whether they push past you on the street, whether they push past you in the grocery store, your feelings get hurt because you're not seen, because they're not paying attention to you. The other thing that happens that is really important to recognize, really, is that life may suddenly change. Just like the storms come suddenly across the sky and the lightning strikes and the tree falls down. Very recently, here in our home, it's about 2 months ago, a storm came through. And I had walked was walking from one room to the next, and I saw the storm come through. And I turned around and walked back up to go upstairs, and I looked out, and a 70, 80-year-old tree had just kaputs fallen from our gardens across to our neighbors. Sudden changes. Sudden changes. In a minute, something can change. But what happens? For a while, sometimes you may not even recognize yourself. You may be experiencing emotions and anger and different things in your life that you think, who is this person? Where did I go? Where did my peace go? Who stole my peace? Why is it gone? Well, as the Guru said to the disciple, don't make that mistake. Your peace isn't gone anywhere. Your peace is here. Your peace is here. Your peace is still living. It is still within you. It is still in the quietude of your mind. Don't allow resentment to steal your peace. Don't allow fear to steal your peace. Don't allow anger to steal your peace. Don't allow grief to steal your peace. Don't allow changing circumstances to steal your peace, your equanimity. And certainly, don't allow your thoughts of what the other people are maybe thinking about you to steal your peace. Don't worry about what they're thinking about you. Probably, if the truth were to be known, they're so busy dealing with their own lives that they're really not spending time thinking about you. But even if they are the captains of their own ship. They're in charge of their own lives. You are in charge of your life. Aham brahmasmi. Aham brahmasmi. You are the creative principle. That means you're the one driving the ship. You may say, oh, no, you can't tell me I'm driving the ship. All these things are happening around me, to me. But the one thing you can change, the one thing you can control, the one thing that you have is your capacity to turn inward, to meditate, to meditate, to meditate, to meditate, to sup upon the sweetness of meditation, to sup upon the silence of meditation, to let go of the fear. Arun asked his teacher, are you telling me that meditation makes the storms stop? No. Meditation teaches you where you live, at the sun center, at the heart center, at the center, not here, not there, at the center. Many years passed, they say. Arun left the monastery and he went and he lived, and what happened? Like what for all of us, people that he loved died. This causes disturbance in the mind when this happens. Friends disappointed. We all disappoint people, my beloved. You have, I have, intentionally, unintentionally, carelessly, not usually with malice, but we have disappointed people. Sometimes, like you and me, Arun's body grew older. I can tell you about that. Sometimes he was misunderstood. This is so frequent, my beloved. We misunderstand each other. The directions say go this way, and we go this way. Sometimes, and I think that for some of us this is happening at the moment, it may look as if the path is so uncertain that you can only see a few steps in front of you. Here in recent days, we've had many mornings when you wake up and the fog is so thick that you cannot see. You have to be very careful driving or walking. But when this happens, we need to remember the lake. We need to remember the clear seeing that we have experienced in our lives. We need to turn inward, ascend upward. Listen for Om. The great guidance. Listen for Om. And I think a wonderful phrase to take for yourself is when all around you everything is crazy and chaotic. Think of the lake. Think of that lake. The surface is disturbed. The surface of your life is disturbed, but underneath is stillness. Underneath is quietude. Underneath is not the chaos of the surface. So rather than saying, how do I stop it? How do I stop this from happening? And I know for many of you, with the things that are going on in the world or in your own lives, you're wanting to say, how do I stop this? How do I stop this? And the answer is maybe, how do I go within? How do I find the peace within so that I can remember, so that I can see clearly? For even in the midst of all of the chaos, even in the midst of the storms, turning inward, you can see clearly. And sometimes, most of the time, in the darkest of times, a pinpoint of light radiates so brilliantly. Have you ever been in a dark sky environment where there's not a lot of light pollution, and the first star of the night comes out? It's black. If it's new moon, it's black. It's no moon lighting the sky. And the sky is just dark. And then you see that pinprick of light from so far away. Such a long, long distance. And it feels like the whole sky is lit. Oh, it's beautiful. And this is what meditation will do for you. In the darkest of the dark nights, just that small turning inward. Now, in the Kriya tradition, unlike some other traditions, you just have to sup upon it a little bit at a time. You don't have to sit for 6 hours or 8 hours. That's not meditation. Concentration, good concentration effort, that's for sure. But you can't meditate like that. That's just concentration. Nothing wrong with it. It's got its purpose, right? But remember just to turn inward several times a day. Once an hour, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, 5 times a day, for just a moment. We're going to do that now. And I offer this to you. There are many Kriya techniques that can be used when the mind becomes ruffled, when the lake is not smooth or calm anymore, when you are finding insecurity rising in your mind. But one of the most effective that I know is one that people often say, oh, well, everybody has that technique, it's not a big deal. And it's funny how the mind is. It'll say, well, if you gave me that technique in the beginning, it must not be very valuable. You would have saved it. If it was valuable, you would have saved it till the end. And till I was more advanced, if you will. But this practice, if it is done repeatedly and regularly, is quite effective. So much so that after I had been a disciple for around about 30 years or so, I walked into discipleship one day and my guru was talking about this technique. And when he said it, I thought, oh, okay, But then he said, every disciple, every seeker should be practicing this technique every day, all day. Because this is a technique that will help to lead you to moksha, to enlightenment, to liberation. And the technique is quite simple. We're going to do it today. It is the use of a word, a Sanskrit word, and that word is neti, N-E-T-I, neti, 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 neti. It's said 3 times. Usually it's said silently. Neti, neti, neti. And what it means is, the first time you say it, I'm not this thought. Second neti is, I'm not the thought thinking this thought. Third neti is, I am not thought. You are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. A thought arises in your mind and you are not compelled to act upon it. Did you know that? You do not have to act upon it. It's just a thought. A thought arises in your mind. It is just a thought. It is eternal. They come and they go. They're coming because they're relative to you at this moment. The thought of fear is here because you're relative to it at this moment. But you are not compelled to act upon it. Somebody says, eat that piece of bacon. You don't have to eat it. Eat the piece of chocolate. And you may think, if the mind thinks I have to eat that piece of chocolate, that you have to, but you don't. I guarantee you don't. I guarantee you that my mind has said plenty of times, oh, you should have that chocolate. Neti, neti, neti. You can fast from chocolate for easily a year and a half. I've done it. I may even do it again. You do not. You do not. Do you hear me? You do not have to act upon every thought that rises in your mind. Neti. I'm not this thought. Neti. I'm not the thought thinking this thought. Neti. I, you, are not thought. You are immortal. You are an immortal being. You are consciousness. These thoughts are temporary, rising and falling. They are eternal. They're not new. They only come to you when you are relative to them. So the practice we're going to share together is very, 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 I'm going to lead you in the practice. We will do it together today. But I'm going to ask you to take it. And, it doesn't do a whole lot of good to get a technique and not use it, really. I mean, you can fill your notebooks. I've got notebooks coming out of my ears and my cabinets. you can fill your notebook with notes, practices, and techniques, but if you don't do them, if you don't use them, it's no good. What good is it? It's no good whatsoever if you don't use it. So take it and use it, but also this week, do tarka, deep, deep reflection on the practice. Write me if you want. I would love to hear what you experience. And I'll write you back. But what insights do you have from doing the practice? What awarenesses come to you from doing the practices? What unfolds in your consciousness from doing the practice? For this practice, in the midst of a storm, will help you to return to clear seeing, to clear awareness, to that which you are. And so let us do this together. Let us share the practice. We're going to go through a meditation, and then, as I mentioned earlier, we will close with a meditative prayer. And as always, I wish to say to you that your meditative prayers here on Sunday, that gathering together for these prayers is extremely important spiritually. For what you give to another, you're in the center of the circle. You are in the center of the circle. You know, you want to be enlightened, draw a circle and enlighten the person who's within that circle. Stand in the circle and draw a circle and enlighten the person who's within. Whatever you give to another, so give peace, give joy, give kindness, give gentleness, give understanding, give compassion. And give up your critical nature. You don't have to be a movie critic writing the criticism for the movie of life. It's a leela, it's a play. You do not have to be a critic. Enjoy it and share it and bless it. Namaste. My heart is so happy to be here with you. Namaste. Namaskar. Let us meditate. Sit with your spine erect, if you will, as you are comfortably able. Place your hands in the Om Mudra, the index finger and the thumb together, cupped upward upon your thighs, again, as you are comfortably able. Focus the attention at the sun center, point between your eyes. Turn your head to the left, exhaling twice. Bring the head back to the center and begin to watch the breath. Allow the breath to move inward, inhaling, using the sipping breath. Draw the energy from the limbs to the trunk. Draw the energy from the trunk to the spinal column. Draw the energy from the base of the spine to the sun center. And now take that energy as a golden ball of light and move it out in front of you. Expand it. And 3 times sweep around your body with golden light. Expand that golden ball of light. And now ascend. Focusing at your sun center, ascend. Ascend to the high place of meditation. Attaining the high place of meditation. Find your meditation place. Call upon your Ishtadevata to join with you, your chosen form of the divine. Greet your Ishta. In your mind's eye, your Ishta holds up a mirror. Focus your attention. Lift your awareness above your chakra system, 18 inches or 20 inches above your crown center. And watch your breath. As you watch the breath inhale and exhale, become one with the breath. And now become aware of any thoughts that rise in your mind. See your mind. Your Ishta is holding a mirror to you. Any thoughts that rise in the mind are reflected in the mirror. As you see a thought arise, neti, 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 silently or speaking it softly so that you can hear. With each neti, realize I am not this thought. I am not the thought thinking this thought. I am not thought. And see the thought dissolve away. Just continue to pay attention to your breath and be aware of thoughts that rise in the mind, speaking neti, 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 as you see a thought arise. Return your attention to the breath. If a thought arises, neti, 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 and feel the thought dissolving away. It matters not if the thought continues. If you chant neti, 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 neti. After each neti, after each of the three netis, turn your attention to your breath. Become one with the breath, allowing it to inhale and exhale of its own accord. And now let go. Let go of observing the thoughts. Reflected in the mirror held by your Ishta is a beautiful, calm lake. A beautiful lake of blue that allows you to see into infinity. Gaze through that blue light of self-awareness. See the golden star pulsating within. Gaze upon the star. Step forth to your own enlightenment. Sit and rest in the light. Be filled with the light. And now from the fullness of that peace, the fullness of that self-awareness, the fullness of Anandic bliss, let us send forth our yoga city together in prayer, not asking, not begging, but sending forth the blessings. O ye powers that be, thou knowest better than we that which is needed to soften the karmas of all beings upon the earth. Join with us as we send forth our meditative blessings, that all the karmas be softened, that the highest good for the evolution of all beings be abundantly blessed. And as we chant the Om Shanti mantra, feel the golden light pouring forth from your sun center, pouring around Mother Gaia, through her, within her, saturating every cell of every being upon the earth, around the earth, within the earth, offering blessings to all beings. Om Shanti. 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 Om Shanti. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Continue the chanting silently, sending forth your blessings. Dhyanamulam Guru Murti, Pujamulam Guru Padam, Mantramulam Guru Vakyam, Mokshamulam Guru Kripa. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave, Satchitananda Murtaye, Nishprabhanjaya Shantaya, Niralambaya Tejase. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Feel the golden dewdrops of Anandic bliss pouring down upon every cell of your being, filling you, blessing you. Ananda, 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 da, da. Thou art blessed. Thou hast been a blessing. With every cell of your being, seek out your own illumination and become an ever greater blessing to all of those who enter your aura. Namaste. Namaskar. I thank you for the blessing of your presence, for your good, strong, meditative energies, for your kindness. Carry that forth with you as you walk through the world. Namaste, Ji.